think my biggest like issue before I took LearningRx was like focusing and understanding material, like especially in school. Like growing up, I needed at least one replacement class, but until like my sophomore year when I started taking Algebra 1, which is not a replacement math class. I've always needed in-class support. I've always needed extended time and stuff like that. And I had issues like difficulty in like remembering things and focusing on the work and whatnot.
I felt like he was a bright child and very curious, loved school, loved people, loved learning, but just I felt that there were pieces missing in terms of putting the puzzle together to have him be successful in a classroom setting. Vytas was diagnosed at age 3 at the very milder end of the autism spectrum. The diagnosis that they gave you was PDD-NOS, which means pervasive developmental delay, not otherwise specified. So we had a speech therapist, an occupational therapist, physical therapist. Going way back, there's been a lot of intervention. So we expected this very nice progression, and everything was done, and we were very happy with all of the results until we got into the high school years and things just seemed to plateau. And to me, that was the first bell, the alarm bell that went off in my head, is that why have we plateaued? This kid is maturing, and I didn't want him left in the dust. I wanted to see why he had kind of plateaued and the grades had started to slip, because I knew that he had goals, and has always had these goals of wanting to study animals and write comic books and do 100 other different things. So I was just thrilled that we found LearningRx when we did. I'd hate to think what would have happened if we hadn't done LearningRx. I don't know where we might be.
Me either.
Like counselors' recommendations were, they can't promise you anything, and they were just like, well, just, we'll see what we can do. And they were not very supportive. And that's when I said, I know this is a bright kid, and he absolutely loves zoology. Ask him anything about animal taxonomy, and he'll know it. So I said, this is a kid that deserves a chance. He deserves to go on to higher education. We just have to unlock the potential.
How did that change over time with the training? Like, how did you notice?
My memory and attention, it improved. I noticed I had an easier time with my short-term memory and focusing more on my studies, and I could start doing math in my head. It improved my confidence. I could ask teacher for help more like casually when I needed it.
Yeah, a confidence booster is a big thing. It's just wonderful to see Vytas being able to advocate for himself and also have the confidence to go up to the teacher after class and say, I need some help, can I see you after or before school tomorrow or whatever, and versus having the parent intervene or somebody on his team intervene. Now he can go ahead and speak for himself about things that may or may not need immediate attention. I really feel that LearningRx was one of the big reasons that he got into the school of his choice. His grades went up. Right now as a high school senior, I think you have a 3.3 or a 3.4 average. And this is a kid before LearningRx was like hanging on to C's by all fours and missing assignments and not feeling like he was just going to be able to progress. And I thought, well, if you want to study zoology and you want to go to college, you're not going to get into a good program with those kinds of grades.
And I just got a scholarship with my special ed department regarding I do a club in school called self-advocacy, which focuses on kids with IEPs like me and focuses more on like their ability to speak up for themselves. I was the first student in my school to earn that scholarship.
If you were to recommend LearningRx to your best friend, what would you say?
I would recommend it because I saw the confidence rise, and I know for a kid it's maybe hard to see, all right, I wasn't confident yesterday and I'm now, like a month has gone by and now I'm confident. No, it was more like when I would pick him up after the session, he'd be singing songs, and we're bilingual, and he'd be singing a song in Lithuanian that he hadn't sung since summer camp like 5 or 6 months ago. And he'd be singing it and remembering the words in Lithuanian. So I knew he was in good mood, and you had clearly activated parts of the brain that really hadn't had to have been active for months. So I said, this is great. I understand that that's probably a really good thing, that we're working on synapses and recall, and things are popping back up in his brain. So it was exciting for me to see that he left in a great mood. He loved interacting with the other kids there, and always had positive things to say about the training and the trainers. He got into the college of his choice, and he has his lowest grade right now is I think a 94 on Power School, and I credit it to LearningRx. It's been a huge game changer for him and for us as a family, because it's been wonderful to see the confidence and just the ability to get work done and to run on the track team or the cross-country team and play the tuba and have a social life and be involved in scouts, and like to be able to juggle all that and not feel overwhelmed. I just feel that after completing the two programs, now that we're almost at the end of the second one, that the Vytas is going to have a fighting chance to succeed in this tough program. It's a great university. It's a research university. It has a great reputation, and there's departments there in place. There's resources for students with disabilities there in place, and I just feel like he's going to have a great shot at it. Sky's the limit.
Sky's
No, unless you're an astronaut, then like the galaxy's over.
That's right.